All right, the Reds, it's talking Reds from Barcelona, Gareth Robertson, Craig Hannan. The morning after the night before and all that, we've had a little bit of time to sort of calm down and reflect on what happened at the new camp last night. It's not really got much better, to be honest. Liverpool are still 3-0 down after the first leg of the semi-final of the Champions League. And most people are sort of celebrating the mastery of Messi after he scored his 600th goal for the club, which is fucking mad, by the way. And yeah, I mean, I'm not like sort of. I was quite hopeful on the pink. I was sort of saying, you get the early goal and stuff like that. Since then, I've sort of saw what Klopp said, saw what their manager said, read the reports and all that kind of thing, and just think it's going to be a bit of a monumental effort to turn this over. I think Liverpool can beat them. I'm confident that we will beat them, to be honest. I think we played really, really well in the new camp, which sounds mad when you beat 3-0, got beat 3-0, but 3-0 is absolutely brutal. 3-0 is not a reflection of the balance of the game and how the two sides played, but it's all about putting it in the back of the net, and Liverpool didn't do it and they did. So I think if we'd have got the away goal, I'd be feeling a little bit more confident. I still think we've got a chance, a fighting chance, a chance that anyone's got in a football match. I mean, there's a couple of things around that, isn't he? Roma, of course, knocked Barcelona out after Barcelona had won 4-1 in the Nou Camp last year. Went back to Italy and beat them 3-0 and went through. That is obviously courtesy of that away goal, though, and that's the little niggle. It's the idea that we have to keep them out, I think, is what most people's worry about it, isn't it, Craig? Because, they get one at Anfield and then we need 5.
When you say it like that against Barcelona as well, it's going to be so difficult. And do you know what, I said it on the pink last night, but I am devastated by this. Like I felt sort of lower about it than after Kiev last year, and I think that was because it was last year. It all just sort of happened, and we got to the Champions League final. It was like, I'm just happy to be at Champions League final. I think this year I feel as if this team deserves so much more than probably what they're gonna end up with. You're right, it was brutal, like 3-0 if you think about that. If you didn't see the goals and you just watched the rest of the performance, you'd never say 3-0 Barcelona.
Liverpool played really well.
Yeah, they did. They really well.
I've watched back the highlights this morning, and I just think that bit hasn't changed. Liverpool played well. It's not like they bottled it. It's not like they froze. It's not like they were worried about the quality of the opponents or that the big spectacular welcome that they were given in the ground in any way got to them. I think all that was right in terms of the performances, and I read Klopp's comments and watched his press conference, and it doesn't feel to me that he probably walked into the dressing room and volleyed them everywhere, because they've not done a lot wrong.
I don't like, you try and pick apart the performance, don't you? And there's very little that you can think of.
The free kick is absolutely amazing. It's 30 yards out and it's in the postage stamp, and that's a mark of what a player that fella is. Funny, by the way, after all the years of various other sets of fans volleying our players everywhere for diving, that Messi tumble that he does off the Milner nudge is something else, by the way, if you haven't seen that. He's good at play acting as well as putting it in the top bin.
Do you know what, it was one of we've said it in the shows building up to this, that like I'd never seen Messi live, so it was sort of like it's one of them. He is really good. Devastatingly good, and I wish he'd just fuck off, to be honest. He was far too good. It's lovely watching him on TV and thinking, oh, isn't he brilliant, and then you watch him against your own side put one in like that, and it's just like, just fuck off. It's so good. I've watched that free kick back so many times now, and I think Robbie Savage apparently on BT McManaman tried to say that Alisson could have done better. No mate. It's just one of them where you
he's 6'3" and he's one of the best keepers in the world, and he just couldn't get there.
It's one of them where
no one's getting there. It's the speed of it, it's the precision of it, it's the audacity to even try it in the first place, and the knowledge that you can put the ball exactly where you want it to go. And that was the difference. I mean, Liverpool had the chances. Mane has the chance, Salah has a chance. They clear one off the line, don't they? And look, it's one of them. We can keep saying it. Another day, Liverpool could have won the game. They've wasted big chances. They've hit the post. But at Anfield, for us to somehow progress from this awful position, we'd have to put everything would have to be right, everything would have to find the back of the net. That kind of thing has happened before, and I hope everyone goes there sort of with the idea of enjoying it, with getting behind the Reds, making Anfield what it can be and all the rest of it. Enjoy the fact that we're still in, for now, a semi-final of the Champions League. And look, it's a real shame that, you know, Liverpool have been as good as they've been this season and have come up against City in the league and now Messi in the Champions League. You know, it all feels a little bit unfair because Liverpool have been a brilliant side for a long, long time now. You know, you look how much they've kicked on from last season. You look at where they were in the league last season. You know, Klopp was hailing the fact that they'd finished fourth as being real progress and was saying, you know, it was very close to being a perfect season because obviously we got to the Champions League final and didn't make that. We've kicked on so massively from there. We were 25 points behind Manchester City last season when the league table finishes there. This time we fought them all the way. We can continue to do so by beating Newcastle, by beating Wolves, and let's just see what happens. But you know, there is the scenario that is growing in everyone's heads now that, you know, Liverpool are this brilliant, this good, and don't end up with the trophy at the end of it. And you know, it's heartbreaking, but I think at the same time, and I keep saying this, like us as Liverpool fans, we need to keep our heads because, you know what will happen. You've seen it a million times that certain sections of the press, certain commentators on the telly, all the rest of it, will start to question the manager, will start to question Liverpool and where they are. And all that is just so reductive and it's absolute bollocks. We've got a great manager, a great team, a great squad, and we've just come up against formidable opposition last night and in general across the season in the form of Manchester City.
I'm so proud of them, and like, you know, at the start of the season, I keep saying this, but if you looked Mo Salah in the eye and said 91 points with 2 games to go, Champions League semi-final, you know, you can't say that you wouldn't be disappointed with that. You wouldn't be delighted with that. Sorry, and that's I think that's maybe the thing that sort of why it was devastating for me last night was that they just deserve so much more than. And look, it's not over. You know, you get an early goal. Anfield gets on top of Barcelona, and we've seen madder things happen at Anfield, haven't we? You know, Liverpool have beaten Man City 3-0 at Anfield. They've beaten Roma by 3 goals as well at Anfield last year in the Champions League. There's been madder things happened, but it's going to be really difficult. Barcelona are a brilliant side, and you know, I don't know whether we underestimated or whether we did. I don't know.
No, we've played really well.
But you said that everything would have to be right for Liverpool to go through. Everything was right for Barcelona last night, so you know, it could easily happen.
They get the luck with the rebounds. Okay, the first goal, Liverpool can look at themselves for that one and say, you know, they've not defended that situation the best way they possibly could. I think you can look at a couple of the back four there and question what they're doing, and it's too easy of a goal to concede. But even at 1-0, you were still looking at it and saying, well, that feels unfair because Liverpool have played better than Barcelona here. And then for it to be 2-0 and 3-0 is just so unfair. A world-class goal, and then, you know, the rebounds, you know, that goal as well, it sort of comes from like 2 tackles with the ball just sort of dropping for them. And, you know, and then Messi literally walks into the back of the net because it drops for him. And it's a bit like, you know, football's got that randomness to it, where things, you know, there's an element of luck about it, an element that you can never ever control. And we could just do with some of that fall in Liverpool's way sometime soon, please. I mean, I don't even believe in God, but any hopes, lad? Do you know what I mean? But yeah, we're in Barcelona though, we've had a good time, the sun's shining and it's a great city. It's a pity that some dickheads haven't respected the city in the way that they should and have let down Liverpool as a city and Liverpool as a club and everything else. Hopefully those individuals will be dealt with. Can't be arsed with it. It's a great city. When you come away you should respect it. People wanted me to say something along these lines, well, I'm fucking saying it. I think when someone's committing an act of obvious bellendry, sometimes it doesn't need saying, but you want me to say it, yeah, he's an absolute tit, and if there's any kind of racism involved, even worse. So there you go. You know what it's about when you come abroad. Respect the cities, respect the places, respect the people. You can have a good time. The weather's great. There's loads to see and do. There's loads of bars that are brilliant. It's an absolutely superb city. So why spoil it for everyone else? So that's a bit of a shame, all that crap.
But also, I think it's also worth noting that, like, while we've been here, if we weren't on social media, we would have never have known about all of that happening. And you know, the vast majority of Liverpool fans have behaved themselves and had a belter time. You know, I sort of think, like, if you come to Barcelona, a city like this, and what's the point in going to a square and standing with cans? Do you know what I mean? You can go to all the little bars with and eat tapas and have a brilliant time like we have, and it was the minority. The news, it was all over the news apparently, and like my dad was texting me being like, were you there, or is everything alright?
Yeah.
People text me, is everything alright? And it's like, well, yeah, it's been an absolute belter trip. It's been a brilliant trip. If you weren't in that square, you would have never have known that any of that was happening. That's the disappointing thing, that maybe 2 or 3 Liverpool fans have let us down and sort of create a story for everyone to sort of paddle. But yeah, well, it's been a brilliant trip, hasn't it? We went to Boss Night yesterday, which was unbelievable. Going to the Nou Camp to watch a football game is something that you don't get to do every week. And what a city to have a European away in, by the way. It's unbelievable. You walk into new parts and you're like, like we walked around it yesterday and the day before, and then we've just come down here and it's like, this is amazing. So yeah, it's been a brilliant trip, and this Liverpool side are sort of creating these opportunities for us to go to all of these cities.
Absolutely.
Think Barcelona, Rome, and so on.
And we're not going away. We'll be up there again next season, whatever happens. We'll be challenging in the Champions League again, whatever happens. We've already qualified for it, of course. And we'll be right up there at the top of the league again, because this is a side that can only get better for me. You're only going to see improvements from this side. Liverpool will probably spend in the summer as well. But first, listen, let's not write off this one, because I still think there's a small chance that we can get through in this semi-final. And fuck it if you think I'm a knob for saying that, because
beat Barca at Anfield and then see what happens.
Well, you mentioned the City game before, for instance, and that City game, yeah, we absolutely blew them away at Anfield, so that shows that we're capable of that. But also what City did to us in the second leg, so that City could have just gone, oh well, it's gone, we're never getting that back. But they absolutely threw the kitchen sink at Liverpool in that first half. They scored an early goal. I think they hit the post. They have other chances.
One disallowed.
And the VAR thing that was and all that kind of thing. And us in the away end at that time were like, oh
yeah,
no.
I was a wreck. I was dreadful.
But my point is that Liverpool are capable. Liverpool are more than capable. Liverpool showed last night that they're capable of competing with this side. Obviously, we need to try and keep the ball away from Messi and maybe not give him a free kick from 30 yards from goal again. But
fuck that prick. He can't be arsed of him anymore.
But look, we'll see. It's still been a great season. It's been a great time to be a Red. We're really privileged to document it in the way that we do. We also do other stuff now because the Anfield Wrap is where it is, and that's really nice too. One of the things that we've been doing is teaming up with Levi on a music project in Liverpool, which is brilliant, and as a part of that we did an interview with Lloyd Carner. So here is some of that. This has been Talking Reds from Barcelona. Up the fucking Reds.
Up the Reds.
It's John Gibbons from the Anfield Wrap, and here at the Liverpool Lighthouse at the Levi's Music Project, and we're here with an old friend, old buddy, Lloyd Carner. How are you?
Very, very well, sir. Very good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you, man.
Nice to be here, man.
I mean, just to take it all the way back, if you don't mind, sort of when the guys asked you to get involved in the project, why was it that you wanted? Because it's obviously a big chunk of your time. Obviously, you're an artist that's exploding all around the world. So why was it that you wanted to give some of your very busy schedule to help this?
But this is just the most important stuff to be doing. Do you know what I mean? If I was to look back on my 20s and think like, what's the cool things I've been doing? This would be one of the best things I've been a part of, because it's affecting the lives of young people. And being a young person myself, like, how could there be anything better to do with my time than to help out? And also just because it helps inspire me, kind of selfishly, to be here and look at musicians working hard and being innovative and inquisitive helps me be innovative and inquisitive, So, yeah, it's kind of for myself almost a bit.
And obviously, you're a huge Liverpool fan. The fact that it's over the road from the ground must have been a little bit of a sway as well.
It was just an easy conversation, because I saw Skepta did the one in London, and I was like, well, London's not possible now, so then where do I do it? And there was nowhere else in the UK that I would kind of just fit in. I've got so many friends up here that I've met through music and through shows and other community work I've done, that I kind of have like an extended family up here, do you know what I mean? So to be here, I've just felt so supported from day dot. So.